got cut off and shut down because my phone was too hot. The temperature was too hot, so it caused my phone to shut down. But let's get to it. So I plugged the cooler, kind of cold, but whatever. But in this live, I'm gonna talk about why does this realm or this reality or this world allow, or why does God seem to let a lot of demonic influence and spiritual warfare and narcissism to take place in this reality? Um, Now I gotta be honest, I don't know why God allows this to happen. My best bet, based on what I've learned from other people, is so as human beings we could learn and evolve and grow as spirits because you can't really grow and evolve unless you experience some type of pain, right? So it makes sense that Earth is kind of like an Earth school for souls and spirits to reincarnate into, so they can learn lessons at a much faster rate, at a much faster, rapid rate, because you can't learn without pain or torture, according to um, spirits and souls, right? That's what I've heard. So, and or it could be free will. Maybe we do have free will, but we don't. But we do have the free will to, I guess, treat people how whatever we want to treat them, right? And people use their free will to harm other people that are innocent. And the reason why they do that is because they have a lot of trauma, they have a lot of pain, and they like to project that shit towards innocent people because they're too weak to face that shit and handle and heal from it themselves. And it's very easy to project a lot of pain and anger towards innocent people. You see that play out all the time. Family members, you come from very dysfunctional or traumatic family members, dealing with generational curses, they like to do that. But what makes it spiritual is that like if they all operate, if they all do the same thing, then they're gonna back each other up. They're gonna defend each other, so they can target an innocent person who's calling them out or setting boundaries. That's how it plays out. And it's spiritual. I'm not sure if they're aware if they're doing this or not. I think it's subconsciously and unconsciously. So part of them are aware, but for the most part they're not. It's spiritual. That's why. But it's just annoying, and it's like how like in this realm, in this reality, um, the fact that corruption is able to happen, narcissism, spiritual warfare, manipulation, and a lot of mental health issues have a huge impact with the innocent spirits living in this fucking world, right? So imagine living in a world where like there's a lot of money restrictions, a lot of corruption, and not only that, but now we're also dealing with like demonic and spiritual possession and people being influenced by demonic entities. So this world, this is why people in spiritual community they like to call it hell, or they like to call this a fucking like evil place, and not ideal to be in, right? But what motivates me to keep living and to deal with it is the fact that I have the opportunity to overcome these situations, and since the human life is short, some people commit suicides, right? But how I look at it is living life naturally, living life to the fullest, and die naturally. I'd rather take that route because like suicide and just quitting life, that's not an option. It's not an option. Since the human lifespan is short, might as well just ride it out and just deal with it like that. You know what I'm saying? So and not only that, but if you don't quit life, you don't commit suicide, you never know how far you'll come in your lifetime. So that's what motivates me to not give up, to keep going, no matter what type of obstacle life throws at me, right? But either way, I always want it to end. Yes, I may be affected, kept it early, but I always want it to end. So pretty much they got nothing on me, So, and when people have that mindset, they like to refer it as maybe God helping them out or spirit. Who knows? Maybe it is God or spirit helping me out. You know what I'm saying? Or just how my mindset is, or maybe I know too much. Maybe I study a lot of spirituality. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? But my experiences actually interacting with like very abusive, dysfunctional family members. I know it's spiritual because like how they're able to change personality, they're able to change from one emotion to the other at extreme. Because oh my god, like talking about it, it's so like triggering because I've studied Denzel Moss and he mentioned that like the thing with generational curses and dealing with narcissism and narcissistic people in general is that you're not dealing with the actual evil, you're dealing with the vessel. But what's behind that vessel is a fucking spirit. It's a low, it's a fucking lower vibrational entity or demonic or the devil, that's the type of spirit you're dealing with that he mentioned. He made a good point. It's like when you're, if you know, if you experience what I've experienced, if you're interacting with very narcissistic people or evil people, especially covert narcissism, if you're trying to reason with them or you're trying to like set boundaries with them or trying to call them out, they're gonna deflect, gaslight. They're gonna flip the switch on. They're going to flip the script on you, and like, and the reason why they're so good at it is because those spirits, they're very advanced. They're advanced spirits, and with them, like he made a great point. They are advanced. Just like how you have like angels or like other like high vibrational spirits that are in human form. It's no different when it comes to demonic entities. They're also just as advanced. You and my friend talked about this on her video on the Jezebel spirit. You know, they're just as advanced. They know how to attack the weak points. They know how to attack the triggers. And the reason why you even have triggers and weak points in the first place is because when you're born, the devil set that shit up from the get-go. So, because for example, like they know where your life path is, and it's a lot of people. So the devil knows a lot of people, right? So this is why the realm is the way it is. This is why things are so corrupt. This is why it's called the devil's playground. But when you're born, you're automatically going to have some type of trauma or some type of situation, or just something that really bothers you. As you get older, if you're dealing with very like sinister people, they know how to attack that. They know how to sense that because they're not human beings. They're in spiritual warfare. They're operating from a fucking demonic spirit. So this is why when they attack you or they give you a hard time, it hurts deep. It cuts deep because they're hitting trigger wounds and they're hitting your nerves because they're the ones that are responsible for even creating that shit from you from the first place. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with narcissists or spirits, don't take it personally. And it's not you can't use logic. You can to some to a certain degree, but dealing with them is not gonna get you nowhere. You can, depending how strong you are, but the best way I can explain it is watch this live with Young Pharaoh and Nature Boy when these two were going at it. How Young Pharaoh was interacting with Nature Boy, that's the perfect example of how it's like dealing with a psychopath or a narcissist. The way Nature Boy is able to deflect, gaslight, and not admit the wrongdoing to Young Pharaoh, that's how the conversation is with a narcissist and stuff. And have you noticed all the narcissists and all the like psychopathic people, they all act the same. They all like empathy. And we're all see if you look at it twisted, when I say they like empathy or like they just like or like they have certain things and tendencies, people like to get it twisted. They're like, oh well, that person's like that. That person's not evil or they're not narcissistic. I'm not talking about that. They do it. They do it at a certain way. So there's a difference between me having no empathy and them having no empathy. But how they do it is at a certain way where it's like there's something off. It's like it's spiritual. Usually people who are healthy minded or people who are not possessed by a fucking demon, they're gonna feel bad about it if they see something wrong. You know what I'm saying? Other people who are influenced by demonic entities and spiritual warfare, they're gonna fucking project that shit at a very fucking sinister way that you can sense it. But like I said, my whole life, a lot of people they're not aware of what the fuck they're dealing with, so it causes them to think they're crazy or cause them to even commit suicide at that time. It causes them to have them in deep depression or mental trauma because they don't know what they're experiencing. Not knowing they're experiencing paranormal activity, they're experiencing spiritual warfare. And that's why they feel the way they feel and they're able to see the things they see. You know what I'm saying? That's one way. And the narcissism doesn't just rule within family dynamics and generation first, it rules around the world. People who rule this world, most of them are narcissistic. I'm not saying everyone, but most people. The reason why this world is so corrupted and everything is restricted and is the way it is because of narcissistic people and narcissistic spirits. They all operate from the same handle. They all want. Even the Bible even mentions it. I forgot what the words were, but like kill, destroy, control, and shit like that. All the evil shit that's causing problems in this world is because of negative spirits. And I've heard that in this realm, in this 3D realm, the reason why all this shit happens all the time is because unfortunately in this realm, this 3D realm, unfortunately, all different types of spirits have access to this realm. This is why they're able to influence a lot of people's minds and do evil shit. This is why we have a lot of narcissistic people. This is why a lot of people do violent shit and crazy shit. And that's one of the reasons why this world's so corrupt. You know? So, because it's pretty much the rules and regulations of the 3D realm. Because it's not in the spiritual realm, we're in a fucking like dense physical material realm. So, unfortunately, it still gives access to negative energy to infiltrate that realm, infiltrate people's minds, to do evil shit to all innocent souls. Because demons and demonic entities and the devil, they feed off of human beings' suffering. This is why there's so much narcissistic shit that's going on and a lot more corruption because it causes suffering. And that's how the devil or like native entities, that's how they're able to feed off that energy off of human beings' suffering. And they like to take the energy. This is why when you're interacting with narcissistic people or people who cover narcissists, like in training, you always got to over explain it to them because they know what they're doing because they're advanced spirits. They know how to attack the human psyche. They know how the human mind works because they've been targeting you first. That's what I'm trying to get at. But what makes me so mad about it is the fact that I didn't realize all this shit until recently. Damn near this year, pretty much. I always knew it was spiritual, but I didn't know like the in-depth of it until I came across Enzo Ma's channel and everything made sense. Like I always knew dealing with my family and dealing with the narcissist, I always knew it was spiritual, but I didn't know like the actual in-depth meaning behind it. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense. Um, yeah. But what makes me so angry, upset, is the fact that I have to deal with this shit alone, knowing that like I didn't know what was going on and I didn't know what was going on with the information. And the fact that I was subjected to even being around a very abusive, demonically possessed family, and they all are against me pretty much. Whenever I defend myself or call them out, you know what I'm saying? It's just a curse, and I'm pissed. And not only that, but I've been dealing with this shit my whole life. And what makes me so mad is the fact that God didn't even allow this shit to happen. So, and it made sense that when I came across the video where this guy talked about how like people go through the most suffering or the most torture, they either have a very important soul mission, a spiritual mission, or God loves them the most. So it makes sense. So that video gave me comfort knowing that like all my pain and unfair treatment and injustice from people out of nowhere that were so confusing, where people were able to act out of character for no reason, it made sense that all that shit didn't happen in vain because either I have a very important soul mission, spiritual mission, or God really loves me that much for even him making me subjected to a lot of bullshit like that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know what I'm talking about, but that's on you. So I feel like with my life past, um, yes, I am talking about it on YouTube. I am explaining to it, but I feel like God is kind of like, in a way, giving me, and I don't mean to in a egotistic way, but because everyone will experience the same shit. But I feel like God is giving me certain visions of how the spiritual side of narcissism works. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense that I'm not around like-minded people in person. The only time I meet like-minded people is through the internet. It's the reason why like I feel like I can't voice my thoughts like that, or I don't feel safe or comfortable with my intuition because um, a lot of people well, well, what was I gonna say? Because it's not the right timing, or I feel guided not to do that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So it's tricky. But like I said, that's why I don't take it personal. I don't take it personal. Um, yeah, I'm just so mad that like I said, that I was even subjected to that. And the fact that my family really put me through um all this shit just so I could like overcome it, learn from it, and to just you know what I'm saying. So it's just unfair. It's not right. So, it's like I'm pretty much meant to experience abuse and this confusing shit and a lot of mental turmoil because all along I had a fucking spirit that's trying to attack me from the get go. But I blame this reality. I blame God for not even having me be aware in the first place. The reason why I feel like God didn't want me to be aware or to see what was going on is so I could learn from it, so I could know what it's like to experience that shit. So once God gave me the access to allow certain information about the spiritual side of narcissism. Once he gave me the awareness, I'm able to use that to not only help myself, but to help other people to spread awareness of what the fuck is going on. And it doesn't have to be big. It can be simply making a fucking YouTube channel or helping a close friend or someone out. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what it is. But I'm pissed because I had like these demons, man. They stole money from me. They caused me a lot of mental turmoil, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of like grief, a lot of like setbacks, and a lot of emotional pain that I'm still trying to heal from. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm so mad about it. Because God really made me experience all this shit without my awareness and knowledge. And like I said, these spiritual demonic entities, they're very advanced. They're very advanced. So not only they know what they're doing, but they're so good at getting away with it, and they're so good at convincing a lot of people to go against you. The type of covert narcissism, and there's a whole playlist of the things they do, the signs, and the shit they do. And if you're dealing with these types of people, they all do the same shit. I feel like they're not aware of what they're doing. This is why I know it's demonic possession, because if you're trying to get allowed to go with them, they can't explain it. They don't know why they do the things they do, or they'll justify on why they're doing the things they do, which is not fucking logical. And the only person who'll do that is not normal. No human being will do that shit, because you're dealing with a demonic spirit. And like I said before, they're good at manipulation. They're good at tricking. They know how the human mind works, so they're able to justify doing shit that's unjustifiable, and they're able to convince a lot of people, and even yourself, that what they're doing is okay. Because it's spiritual, they're advanced. They know how this realm works, because they've been doing this shit thousands of fucking years. So it's ancient spiritual warfare. That's what it is, pretty much. But that's all I gotta say. And not only that, but it's lonely, because like there's no one. Because I feel like God purposely put me, want me to experience this shit all alone. So I feel like God has put me in a situation where like I have to observe how my family operates and how other people that I've dealt with that are very abusive, how they operate. So God has put me in a situation where like I have to observe certain types of people, like and take in the information. As I'm getting older, the more my life past my life mission develops, that's when I'm able to spread awareness of that shit, or at least have an understanding of it. So I can help other people along the way, or use it to my advantage to make this world a better place. Pretty much, that's what I'm trying to get at. So that's my theory on why maybe God has not put me around like-minded people, or forcefully put me around a lot of shitty situations, so I could like observe it, learn from it, and use it to the best of my advantage. So it makes sense. But it does get discouraging though, because I'm still human. I still need connections. I still need clarity, but God is not gonna do that. But like I said, this is what we're talking about. Life, God or this reality or your spirit, it can only give you things that you know you can handle. It will never make you go through things that you can't handle. So maybe God knows that I can handle these things alone, and it makes sense. I'm making a YouTube video, I'm spreading information, and I have a lot of awareness, intelligence on what the fuck is going on. But at the same time, doesn't mean I'm enjoying it. No, I'm still in pain. I'm still suffering. It's still like lonely. And at times, I think I'm going crazy. You know what I'm saying? So if you're in this path, you have to fully trust yourself. You have to trust your intuition. You have to believe in yourself, but also remain humble, because like you just never know when you're going overboard or like you're in the wrong. You got to check yourself. This is where the emotional healing comes from. You always have to heal. You have to grieve properly, so you give your brain or your head and mental clarity of what you're experiencing, which is valid. But at times when you're dealing with narcissistic people, or people are very narcissistic, just like when my friend mentioned, when you're dealing with these types of people, and once you're away from them, they're going to give you this thing called narcissistic fleas. Well, narcissistic fleas that she mentioned is that pretty much like certain traits, some traits and certain things and tendencies that what they had, they inflicted on you. Not only because you're around them and you're dealing with them and you're trying to confront them and shit like that. It takes a toll on the human body, mind, and spirit. So once you're able to get away from them, from all these years or moments or minutes or months or weeks or days dealing with them, you're going to have this thing called narcissistic fleas, like she mentioned. So make sure you check yourself and try to get rid of those narcissistic fleas. How do you get rid of narcissistic fleas? You do the healing work and yourself reflect. You can do that by going to therapy, by working out a lot, by questioning yourself, by crying and grieving and studying yourself, therapy and talking to certain people, or make a channel to voice your opinion, validate yourself on what the fuck you experienced and what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's trippy, man. But it's weird though, cause like I've heard, um, let's take a break. It's weird though because with narcissistic people, narcissism, like I said, well, it's demonic possession. But I'm more so disturbed the fact that people, like all my family members, the people I've dealt with, it's like how weak or how low you have to be to have a demonic entity or a negative spirit to even infiltrate and have it that's not normal, that's not character, that are important. Like imagine you like oh traumatized to let a spirit take over your body and now you're becoming a narcissistic and now you're harming other systems. We all do this shit to a certain degree. I'm not saying we all do this. That's called projection. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where my life is operating, other people operate that they've dealt with. There's people who are dealing with narcissism. And no more fact that's the reason why people become narcissistic, do the shit they do, narcissism, they do the shit that way they act people and the cycle continues. Generation generational trauma from not just the family but in the world in general. It's a worldwide problem that's been going on in humanity, pretty much. But that's all I gotta say. Have a